Headlines today. I'm Anna. I'm in Vetticad. Now, there are a lot of handsome faces and pretty boys in the Hindi film industry, but it takes that X factor to make the transition from being a good-looking guy to being a sex bomb. My guest today is, of course, an improvised explosive device, but he has shown from the start of his career a keenness to not be seen as just a hot bod or a cute boy. He is something more than that with his experimentation in his choices. You can see that. John Abraham, welcome to Headlines today.
Thank you. You've been very, very kind to me.
Well, the guy in the yellow briefs emerging out of the water in Dostana, the victim of post 9/11 trauma in New York, and now the geek in Jhootha Hi Sahi.
Yeah.
Is it all part of this career plan to experiment and try different stuff?
Well, it is actually. It is. It's actually selecting and trying to work with the directors, I think, who could get me to another level. And I think Tarun did a great job in Dostana, even though Dostana was a lot about the visual appeal. I think Kabir took me to another level in New York. And with Jhootha Hi Sahi, I hope that the audience sees me in a completely different avatar in this film. And I think Abbas has just done that.
I have to ask though, as a woman, and I will ask Abbas this when I meet him.
Yeah.
How does a man look at John Abraham and see a geek?
Very interesting, Anna, when Paki was writing the film.
It's a woman. Yes, I forget. How does a woman look at John Abraham and see a geek?
But you won't believe it, Anna. Paki was not sure whether John Abraham exactly could be cast in this role. And she said, you could make anybody look like a boy next door or a guy next door. But with this guy, it may be a little difficult to make him look like a guy next door, probably because of the physicality. But Abbas was very convinced, and Abbas said that, I'm totally convinced that I can change and physically break him down. And that's exactly what he did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which part of my intro, though, did you say is kind to you? The part where I called you an improvised explosive device?
Yeah, I think you've been kind across the board because it's really sweet of you to actually be so nice to me. Seriously, I really appreciate that. Thank you for actually, noticing the fact that I want to experiment and I want to do different kind of films and I want to be known more for what I can do in my films rather than just a plain body, though I'm not apologetic about it. I can't be apologetic about it because it's a visual medium.
I will not permit you to be apologetic about it on my interview.
So I think thank you.
Okay, of course, that Warner has apparently sent a notice because they have got the impression that there is a lot in common between your film Jhootha Hi Sahi and Friends.
Yeah.
What's that about?
This film has got nothing to do with Friends except for the fact that we are all friends in this film. And the beauty of this film is, just like Friends, is that when you go with your group of 8 or 10 friends and you leave the theater, there's that one person amongst, each one will pick out one friend and say, no, I really like him, I really like her, I really like him. So it's got that feel about it. And Abbas's strong point, I believe, is his casting. If you see Janitu Ya Janina, it was all about the casting. And I think he's done that again with this film.
The thing right now is, because of the way the Hindi film industry has conducted itself, if people haven't seen a film and there is any foreign company or South Indian company that alleges that the Hindi film has been copied, there is a tendency in the audience to believe the accuser because it happens so much in the Hindi film industry.
It does.
Is that, yeah, okay, I was going to say, am I being unfair by saying that?
No, you're being absolutely fair by saying that, but I think in all fairness, we also have a point of view in saying whether we have picked up something from another film or no. And in this case, if I'm saying no, then obviously I have to back it up with people see the film and they say, yes, it's a fact that this isn't that film at all. So I think these two films are completely different, couldn't get even more different. Yeah. Except for the fact that there are friends and all films have friends, I assume. So are all films friends? I don't think so.
Okay. Well, I'll be honest with you. When I read this in the papers, I did wonder how Friends is, how do you copy Friends?
Yeah.
I did wonder that. Having said that, I've just come from seeing Knockout, which when I interviewed Sanjay Dutt, he told me is absolutely not a copy of Phone Booth. And it is such a copy of Phone Booth.
Right.
That it just it feels very sad that the industry would do things like this.
Well, I can speak about myself and about my films, and And I've reached a point, probably I'm a little crazy in the head, but I've reached a point where if I have a bad film, I'd probably nip the rose in the bud. Or I can be blatant enough to say this film's not going to do business. I have reached that point in my career where I can do that, and I've been advised by my producers not to do that. And I believe our film, again,
You would say that to the public, to your fans,
I'd say that to
to the
people,
media?
to the media, because,
Okay.
if they ask me, what do you think about this? I think I'm very capable of saying, I think we could have done better. But as far as this film is concerned, I think, Anna, when you see the film, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. And I hope you're pleasantly surprised because it's such an honest job with actors who don't have a baggage. And coming to Friends, uh, honestly, if it's my word against anybody's, then I'm not definitely. I believe it's not Friends, and Abbas is an original director, and we made a very, very, very original script.
Sometimes I wonder, where is the point at which one decides to credit? For instance, with Dostana, it wasn't the same film. And yet, I personally did feel that the concept was from I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry. Um, is it unfair to say perhaps Dostana should have credited I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry?
Um, yeah, I think it is because I honestly believe that if I take Tarun's word for a fact, Tarun did not see I Pronounce You Chuck and Larry, and he did see it at a later point of time. But
He hadn't seen it when
he
he was
hadn't seen when
making
he
Dostana.
developed the idea at that point of time. And somewhere down the line, a lot of people told him that your film's a lot like that. And he said, I've heard, but then does that mean I don't make a film of my choice? And the germ of the idea was pretty much his. So if there are similarities somewhere and coincidences somewhere between films, that doesn't mean that we are, and I'm speaking from the point of view that we do copy bang on and outright. And in this case, I think to be fair to Tarun, he's been very honest with this film.
Okay. John, I was talking to one of your directors who told me that one of your greatest assets is that if a director asks you for 5 takes, 8 takes, 10 takes, and you have faith in the director and you believe he's looking for the best in
Right.
you, you will give those dozen takes. Do you completely place yourself in the hands of a director?
Totally, Anna. Totally. I mean, whichever directors told you this is absolutely right and bang
Anurag
on.
Kashyap.
Yeah, I totally think my director is my god. I think the director is the captain of the ship, and I think the director is the hero of the film. And I think an actor is a means to an end and is a medium. But I believe that an actor can add some amount of enrichment around the way around what he does till he travels to that end. But he's still a medium for what the director wants to show the audience. And I have complete faith in my director. I remember when Abbas was directing me, the minute I missed the bald head, I would look around nervous because I wanted to see Abbas. Because till I didn't see him, I got uncomfortable. I'm a complete director's actor. And let me tell you, uh, if there have been uh, performances that have not been up to the mark, uh, then I would never squarely blame the director, but we've gone wrong somewhere with our sync, the director and me. It's a director actor relationship. But all in all, my director is my God.
Where does the relationship click for you? Does it have to click at the first meeting?
At the first meeting, Anna. And I've realized that with all my failures that I've had in my films that I really can't mention on camera that I've said no to the first time around, and I've gone ahead and done because they are big star proposals, big actor proposals, have all failed or I have failed in them because I haven't done justice to them. But films that I had my gut on have worked. Like Jism, Dhoom was a gut film. Garam Masala, for whatever, however funny it was or it was not, was a gut film. Taxi 911 was a gut film. Zinda was a gut film. No Smoking is a gut film. Water is a gut film. And Dostana was a complete gut film because the first time I heard it, I laughed. And I said, if I'm laughing, the audience is going to laugh. New York, full faith in Kabir. Kabul Express is a gut film. So outside of those films, the others that I've done haven't really been there. So it's been like that. Jhootha Hi Sahi, Abbas gave me an idea of the film and I said, I'll do this, sir. And he said, sir, but I haven't written anything. I said, I love the one-liner. Whenever you write it, I'll do it. He went back to Paki and he said, Paki, here's the one-liner of a film. Do you like it? She's saying, this is brilliant. So she said, where's the script? He's saying, now you write it. And that's how Jhootha Hi Sahi got written.
Okay.
Yeah.
John, has the past year been tough for you in terms of your physique and your health? I mean, I've been reading reports. I just want to know from you.
Yeah, I think thank you for asking because there was a report on my muscle fatigue, which is completely untrue.
It's untrue.
It's completely untrue.
Okay.
In fact, it's probably my bad on this one because someone did ask me that you're taking a break from the gym, just a casual question in the media. Oh, I don't even know whether it was in the media, and I said, yeah, my trainers told me to take off for 2 days. That's it, 2 days. For a guy who works out every day, 2 days is a big break for me. Somewhere down the line, it translated into doctors and saying that muscle fatigue can lead to neurological disorders. And so suddenly, from just being exhausted, I became a patient. So that's untrue. But yes, it's taken a toll on me because I've had to constantly. I had a fracture when I was promoting New York, Anna.
Yeah, I
And you remember that. So I couldn't work out. So I'm an ectomorph. I lose weight. I shrink when I don't work out. And Abbas liked it. He's saying, stay this lean. I love it. Don't put on an ounce of weight. So the minute Abbas's film got over, Nishikant Kamat's film that I'm shooting for, Nishi saying, John, I want you to be tough. Not that you need to show your body. I just need a tough interior over a shirt. You're wearing shirts, you're covered. But I want a tough man. So I decided to get into the shape I am in. So that's been a seesaw.
Okay, so there have been no health problems.
No health problems, absolutely. And I take a lot of pride in saying I don't, thankfully, touch wood, I have no health problem.
John, of course, Ashai had come in between, and I do remember back in 2008 when I met you, you were so enthusiastic about it.
I still was till the release.
Then what happened?
I stuck by the film. I'm very proud of it. I held on to the film till the day it released, and a lot of people in the trade actually turned around and said, John, you're probably one of the few actors, or probably the only one we know in recent times who hold on to an old film and market it and go out there so aggressively saying this film's his baby and he wants to release it though the film is 3 to 4 years old. But I believe in Nagesh Kokunur. I believed in the film, and I also believe that when a lot of people see this film on television at a later point of time, they'll say it's a beautiful film.
Okay. Well, every opinion counts.
Absolutely.
You know how Nagesh's associate Elahi Hiptullah described you to me? She said, he's hot and he's great looking and all of that, but at heart he's just a simple Bandra boy.
Yeah, totally.
In Bombay parlance, please explain to me what's a simple Bandra boy?
Bandra boy is, I'm a guy who roams around in my track pants, chappals, and a ganji on the roads in Bandra. If I don't take my gypsy out, I'll probably take an auto. People don't really crowd around you. You're just like one of the others.
You're telling me that every Bandra boy looks as good in his ganji as you do.
I'm sure there are a lot of handsome guys out there, Anna. I think we're just blessed and we're lucky to really...
Why the hell am I living in Delhi? I should move to Bandra.
Delhi boys are so smart.
Yeah, but anyway, you're the Bandra boy. Do proceed.
Yeah. So I just think we're just very comfortable in our being, and Bandra is probably one of the only places, Anna, where you see a lot of young girls roaming around at 3 in the morning, just walking on the street. There's something safe. The vibe about where I live is nice, touchwood, and I don't think that should change. So I'm just one of the many. So I can go and sit at a coffee shop, shake hands with people. People come up to me, but you want to oblige, and it's good fun. No one really clamors down onto you, so it's fun.
Okay,
and it's also the way Bandra boys speak also. What man? What are you doing, man? Says that talk.
You talk like that, man.
Yeah, man.
But however, of course, there is a dichotomy because on the one hand, you describe yourself, and others do too, as a simple guy. But on the other hand, in a film like Little Zizou, okay, you had a small little role, but it was the fact that you're this hot guy, right?
Yeah.
That was very important to your cameo in the film, right? Do you find people confused when they meet you first?
I actually want to find an answer to that question because I don't know it, Anna. When I go out there and I try and when people look at me, there's a sense of confusion, and I see it sometimes in their face also. When a woman walks up to me, she'd probably say, "You're hot," but at the same time, she finds it very easy to approach me. So there's a sense of accessibility that you have, which I love, and there's a sense of projection that I have, which I also like, which is the two. It's a dichotomy, but they both coexist at the same time, and it's interesting. I enjoy it. I love this space because I love meeting people. I love chatting with them. I talk to people about them, not about me, and I like it when people come up and appreciate you for your being and the way you look, because who wouldn't like it?
John, when are you going to join Twitter?
I'm not getting on Twitter.
What is the feedback Vipasha has given you about about her experiences on
She
Twitter?
loves it.
She loves it.
She loves Twitter, and Bipasha and I are very strong individuals. We don't agree on practically everything, and she tried convincing me to get onto Twitter, and I was nearly convinced, and then I backed off. And you see, Anna, this is my prediction, and I guarantee you, all the actors, stroke actresses who are on Twitter are going to get off very soon, because they're going to get tired, or the audience is going to get tired.
Well, I tweeted this interview, and
Okay.
viewers have sent in questions for you.
Oh wow.
Harsh Dholakia says, "Why did you cut your hair, John?"
Well, I think for an actor, it's important to change, and it's important to give the audience something new and something different. And as actors, you have to be brave enough to do that. That's why, Harsh, I cut my hair, because I couldn't keep that long bonded hair forever. Now that I've cut it, at least my female audience says that thank God you cut your hair. But my male audience says that you should have left it long. So it's always two sides to a story.
Pinaki the Great says, "Who is the most overrated actor in the Hindi film industry?"
Pinaki, I don't know who's the most overrated actor, but at the risk of sounding narcissistic, I'll tell you that I'm one of the most underrated actors.
Nadira says, "Why do you not play a negative role more often? You'd be fabulous as a villain."
I so totally agree with Nadira, because I love playing bad boy. I love being a bad boy, and I love playing negative. And for Nadira, I'm doing a film called Race 2, and I'm so negative in it, it's not funny. And it's probably the best negative role that anyone could do in this industry. So I'm so excited about it.
Okay. Kanamotal says, "How much can you bench press?"
Kanamotil, let me tell you this, that it's not important as to how much you can bench press, it's how you bench press. What I'm trying to say is the form is more important than the weights that you lift. So, in my days when I didn't really understand form, I could bench press heavy, but now I go to about 100 odd pounds, which is light. But for you, just to get you excited, let me tell you, in my peak, I used to bench press about 360 pounds on a superset with 3 trainers at the back, and that was just a couple of repetitions, just to blast it.
It's good
Yeah.
you're addressing him, because
It's
I have
good I'm
no
addressing
clue
it.
what you just said.
Yeah. Basically, it's about lifting 180 kilos. So that's about 4 of you or 3 of you. Occasionally, So,
That I understand. Okay, but how many hours a day do you work out?
couple of hours a day, and
And
I
you're
really,
working out extra for this remake of Kaka Kaka, right?
yeah, completely,
Okay.
because I think the shape that I'm going to be in this film is, I think we need an action hero, and I hope I can fill in that vacuum. And I'm so excited about this film, and we will finish principal photography by the end of January.
Okay, and John, will you take off your shirt at all in the film?
Well, there's a huge climax fight, and it's going to be crazy. It's going to be shirtless and crazy. It's going
Do
to
you
be
rip
action.
off your shirt, or does it just fly off
No,
by
it-
itself?
No, I don't. I mean, I it probably comes off. Like I take it off. I'm a little more realistic. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, fine. Well, John Abraham, always nice to have you on the
Thank
show,
you.
and all the best for Jhootha Hi
Thank you,
Sahi and
Anna.
every other
Yeah,
film.
always a pleasure to talk to you.
Yeah.